Hi there, thank you so much for having me back to guide you through a vinyasa yoga practice today. I have a great 30-minute class planned for you, opening up every muscle and joint in the body and focusing a little bit on balance today. So balance is a really awesome thing to practice on the yoga mat and in your practice because we deal with balance every day, right? So we're trying to balance work and a personal life and eating healthy and having fun and you name it. And that's not an easy task to find balance in your everyday life. It's also not an easy task to practice on the yoga mat. So I challenge you today to focus on finding a little bit of calmness or relaxation even as you wobble, even as you fall out of a balancing posture. It happens. It happens to all of us. So, and that's okay. It's okay to wobble. It's okay to fall out of a posture as long as you come back into that posture, that place of balance, that state of equilibrium. So, if you do find yourself in a balancing posture, that I'll guide you through, and you feel your mind wandering, you feel yourself holding breath, just see if you can come back to full inhales through the nose and full exhales out of the nose. Emptying the mind and remaining calm on the inside can truly help with balance. So I hope that you enjoyed today's class, and I hope that you end up feeling relaxed, refreshed, or maybe just with a slightly clearer mind after today's practice. We're going to go ahead and get started in extended child's pose today. Knees wide and toes together. Belly softens in between the thighs. Forehead rests onto the yoga mat, onto stacked forearms, or onto a block. Fingertips extend out towards the front of the room. Take a few moments to center the breath, breathing fully in through the nose and out of the nose. Shift forward, find tabletop position, and then walk the fingertips all the way over to the left side of the room and allow the hips to sink back down towards the heels. Feeling the big side body stretch. Walk the hands all the way across the mat towards the right side of the room, and then allow the hips to sink back down towards the heels. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. One more inhale, and as you exhale, come back to tabletop. Shoulders stack over the wrists, fingertips spread apart. Inhale, sweep the right fingertips overhead, circle out the wrist a few times in each direction, and then find thread the needle. Right ear and right shoulder come down to the mat. Left palm presses into the mat, 90-degree angle at the elbow. Opening chest and heart, rolling the top shoulder open towards the ceiling. Option to sweep the top fingertips towards the ceiling, or you can find a half bind, reaching the left arm, the left hand towards the hip crease. Perfectly awesome option to keep that left hand planted on the mat, spiraling chest and heart open towards the ceiling. Inhale, sweep the right fingertips overhead, circle the wrist, and plant the palm. Inhale, left fingertips reach up towards the ceiling, open chest and heart, and bring the left shoulder and the left ear down to the mat, pressing right palm firmly into the floor, or sweeping the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Notice which option feels better in your body and where you can find more of an opening in the shoulder. Another option is to bring the left ear to a block. Perhaps your ear or your temple does not reach down to the floor. This would be a great option. Inhale, sweep the left fingertips overhead, and exhale, find tabletop. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, walk the fingertips out towards the front of the room, towards the front of the mat. Keep tailbone lifted towards the ceiling, slight lift of the chin, puppy pose. You can also bring a block underneath the chin or you can bring your hands onto the block. So these will provide just different options for the body. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Continue to press your hands into the floor or to your yoga block. Tailbone reaches high to the ceiling. Hands walk directly under the shoulders. Allow the hips to sway from side to side, releasing some tension in the hips or the low back. Maybe even opening up the wrists. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Big exhale, press the floor away, arch the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, shift the tailbone high. And exhale, arch the spine, gaze comes into the knees. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. And exhale, press the floor away. One more time in each direction, soften the belly, shift the gaze high. Exhale, press the floor away, arch the spine. Inhale, come back to tabletop, finding some spine strength. Shoulders stacked directly over the wrists. Extend left leg behind you, flexing through the ankle. You can stay here or reach the right fingertips out in front of you towards the front of your mat. Keeping a straight line from the heel to the wrist. Come back to center, reach the right heel behind you. Flex the ankle, left fingertips extend out in front of you. Slight tuck of the chin, extend heel and fingertips in equal amount. Deep breath in, and exhale back to tabletop. From here, sweep your left foot out to the left side of the room, rise up onto the right knee. Right fingertips reach up and overhead, and left hand can just slide down the left shin. Find length through the side body stretch. Plant the right palm, extend the left fingertips up and overhead, elongate from foot to fingertips. Walk the hands back towards tabletop, bring the knee back into tabletop, and then extend the right foot towards the outer edge of the mat. Left fingertips extend up and overhead, big side body stretch. Right fingertips slide down the right thigh. Pressing firmly into the outer edge of right foot. Plant the left palm into your mat and extend right fingertips up and overhead, big full body stretch. Coming back into tabletop. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Send hips up high to the sky, downward facing dog. Knees can be bent or they can be straight. Option to nod the head yes and no. Heels work down towards the floor, but they do not need to touch the floor. If at any point in time you feel the need to come down to tabletop, you may. Otherwise, find a little bit of a flow in your down dog, lifting heels high to the ceiling, pedaling the feet out, breathing. Chest reaches towards the thigh, slight tuck of the chin. Come back down to tabletop. Shoulders stacking over wrists. And then send the hips high to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Bend the knees and slowly walk hands all the way to the feet, finding ragdoll pose. Grasp onto opposite elbows. Sway from side to side. Knees can be nice and bent here. Weight shifts forward towards the balls of the feet. Bending the knees is going to help support the low back. You can find movement or stillness. Just allow head, neck, and chest to hang heavy here. Take a deep breath in, and then allow the fingertips to soften down towards the floor. Big bend in the right knee. Right hand or fingertips come down to the floor. Left fingertips extend up towards the ceiling. Left hand comes down to the mat. Right fingertips sweep up towards the ceiling. Big bend in the left knee. Come back to center. Put a generous bend in the knees. Roll all the way to stand. Shoulders shrug. Shoulders come up to the ears. And then soften them down and away. Find this a few more times on your own. Slow or faster movements. Connecting our breath and our movement. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, allow the arms to soften towards the sides. Inhale, extend fingertips up and overhead. Big exhale, arms fall to the sides. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Big exhale, hands come to heart center. Working on some balance. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Lift the right knee high to the sky, one-legged Tadasana, mountain pose. Bring the right heel and ball of the foot down towards the mat. Airplane the arms and raise the left foot and toes off of the mat any amount. This can be an inch, it can be a foot. Inhale, lift the left knee high, one-legged mountain pose. Bring the heel and ball of the foot down to the floor, airplane the arms. Hinge forward just slightly. Lift the right toes off of the floor, airplane pose. Deep breath in. Lift the right knee high. And exhale, soften the foot back down to the floor, arms fall to the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center, tree pose. Open up through the right knee and allow the sole of the right foot to be a kickstand, or bring the sole of the foot to the shin of the left leg. Arms can stay at heart center or they can sweep overhead. Shoulders are soft. You can find movement or stillness here, wherever you are, anchored down through the big toe and the little toe. Lift up through the kneecap, engaging every muscle in the leg. Engage the belly, and find a focal point for your eyes. Don't forget to breathe. Hands come back to heart center, knee comes back to center, stand tall. Take a deep breath in, open mouth, sigh. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and exhale, open the chest and heart, cactus or goalpost the arms. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, find that baby back bend, goalpost the arms. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead one more time, goalpost the arms, shift gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, hands come to heart center. Tree pose on the other side. Begin with your gaze. Begin with your foundation. Notice you may wobble. Sole of the foot can be a kickstand, or foot can come to the shin. Focusing on breath here as you challenge your balance. You might find an arm variation. See if you can keep your breath really full, allowing this to steady your mind and maybe your body. Keeping your eyes soft on one non-moving point. Hands come back to heart center. Knee comes back to center. Toes come to touch. Take a deep breath in. Sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Knees bend on the way down. Nod the head yes and no in this forward fold, releasing any tension. Inhale, palms press into shins. Lift halfway. Exhale, long step back with the left foot. Soften down to the left knee. And then allow your shoulders to come back over the hips. Right hand can press onto the right thigh, encouraging forward movement. Left hand can come to the hip. Or you can interlace fingers behind the back, finding a big chest expansion. The other option is to grasp onto opposite elbows behind your back. Take a deep breath in. Sweep the arms overhead, and then find a twist. Left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Right fingertips extend towards the back of the room. Gaze comes to the fingertips. Inhale, come back to center, soften the shoulders. And exhale, bring the fingertips down to the floor, half splits. Straighten out through the right knee any amount. Fingertips come down to the floor or a couple of blocks. Chest softens over the thigh. Crown of head reaches towards the front of the mat or the toes. Walk hands forward. Bend through the left knee. Spring forward. Feet come to touch. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, sink down into an imaginary chair. Hips shift back towards the heels. Find a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, straight spine. Exhale, plant the palms, long step back with the right foot. Soften down to the right knee. Left hand can press into the left thigh, or you can find a chest or heart opener. If this does feel uncomfortable under the knee, don't forget you can use a towel or a blanket for a little extra cushion. Option to goalpost the arms. And then move into a twist. Right hand comes to the left thigh. Left fingertips extend towards the back of the room. Take a deep breath in and come back to center. Beginning to straighten out through the left leg any amount. Flex the ankle and reach toes towards the ceiling. Hands can come to blocks or the floor. Chest softens over the left knee. Big hamstring stretch. Left knee can be bent any amount. Slowly walk the hands to the top of the mat. Bend through the right knee and step right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Hands come to the low back, elbows squeeze towards one another, standing back bend. Shift gaze towards the ceiling, send hips forward. Continue to press hands into the low back and move the elbows towards one another. Take a deep breath in, come back to center. Exhale, hands come to the sides. Inhale, breath, and exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, find a forward fold, knees bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, press the palms into the mat. Take a long step back with both feet. High plank, right away down to the knees. Hold here, building strength in the core, strength in the shoulders. And then slowly, slowly come all the way down to the belly. Finding baby cobra. Palms are directly underneath the shoulders. Tops of feet press into the mat. Begin to lift chest, chin, and maybe even hands off of the mat. Bring a slight tuck to the chin, finding length through the entire spine. And exhale, soften the right cheek down to the floor. Arms come to the sides. Taking a moment just to rest and breathe. Chin comes back to the mat. You can take the option we just took in baby cobra. Or you can extend the fingertips towards the back of the room and slowly begin to lift upper and lower body. Breathe deeply here. Extend fingers and toes. Crown of head reaches towards the front of the room. Slight tuck of the chin. And exhale, soften a cheek down to the floor. Bend the knees and draw little circles with your toes towards the ceiling. Great way to release the low back. Take a deep breath in and full breath out. Chin comes back to the mat. Press up through tabletop and then bring the knees apart and toes together. Sink hips back down towards the heels. Belly softens in between the thighs. Extended child's pose. Forehead can nod no from side to side, releasing tension through the brow bone. Eventually making your way back to tabletop. Step the right foot forward and swivel the back heel and back foot down to the floor, finding warrior two. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Nice big bend in the front knee. You can start to straighten and then bend into the knee, opening up, externally rotating the right knee. If you notice that your knee is coming over your right toes, walk your feet apart. From here you can find extended side angle if you choose. Forearm comes to the thigh, left fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back to warrior two, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Legs are the exact same in each one of these three postures. As you exhale, cartwheel the palms down to the floor, come back to that low lunge, and then find tabletop. Slowly step your left foot forward, lift off of your right knee, and then rotate the back heel down so it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. Externally rotate the left knee, open it up. Press firmly into both feet, Extend fingertips in opposite directions and soften the shoulders. Reach as far forward as you can, and then bring the left forearm to the left thigh. Reach right fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then open chest and heart. Again, this is a lot of work in the legs. Really awesome for the body. Come back to warrior two. Flip the left palm and reach up and overhead, reversing your warrior. Right hand comes to the right thigh, and then cartwheel the palms down to the mat. Come back to your low lunge. Come back to tabletop. Slowly, slowly lower all the way down to the belly. Palms are under the shoulders. Press up through baby cobra, all the way through tabletop to downward facing dog. Find a little movement here, whether that's in your legs or your feet. Nodding the head yes or no. Lifting off of the heels and pressing them back down to the floor. Finding just a few more deep breaths in your downward facing dog. Continue to lift the tailbone towards the ceiling. Shoulders come away from ears. Slowly walk the feet all the way to the hands. And then we'll find a forward fold. Feet come about hip-width distance apart. Peace fingers grasp onto the big toes. And then allow the elbows to bow to the sides of the room. Knees are really bent here. Belly rests on the thighs. Head and neck hang heavy. Steer your weight towards the front of the room. Take a full breath in and exhale fully. Inhale breath, release your grip. Heel to the feet towards one another. Lift halfway, press the palms into the shins. Find a forward fold. And then work your way back towards that chair pose. Airplane the arms, squeeze the triceps towards one another. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, find a forward fold. Inhale, press the palms into the shins, lift halfway. And exhale, find tabletop position. Drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, cat pose, arch the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, look up for cow. And exhale, cat, press the floor away. From here, roll onto your right or left hip, and then swing the legs out in front of you. Scoot forward on the mat, Dhanurasana. Bring the fleshy part from underneath the thighs. Press palms to your sides. Flex the ankles. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Plant left palm behind you and extend right fingertips towards the ceiling. You can hook the right elbow around the left knee or bring the right elbow to the outer edge of left thigh. Grow tall with each inhale and exhale, twist a little bit deeper with each exhale. Inhale, breath, and exhale. Find a little counter twist, shifting gaze over the right shoulder, and then come back to center. Cross right ankle over left thigh, plant right palm, extend left fingertips overhead, moving into that twist. So you're not forcing this twist or making it painful. The elbow to the thigh connection is just allowing you to get a little bit deeper here. Slowly come back to center, find that counter twist. And then come back to center. Bend the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the floor. Scoot the hips forward. Hands come behind the knees. Shift weight forward towards the tailbone. Navasana boat pose. Hands can rest behind you, finding length in the spine. Otherwise, use this as a really awesome abdominal and core strengthener. Toes can hover off of the earth if you choose. Or perhaps you feel that just shifting weight back into the hips is an awesome option for you. Soles of feet come back down onto the floor. Plant palms behind the hips. Reverse tabletop. Send hips high to the ceiling. Shift gaze to the ceiling. Press into the hands and the feet in equal amount. Big breath in, lift hips 1 more inch. And exhale, soften the hips down to the floor. Feet extend out in front of you. Reach fingertips overhead forward fold. Knees can be bent or legs can be straight. This can be an active stretch, meaning you make a connection between hands and feet or hands and calves. Or you can turn this into a completely passive stretch. Palms just rest, facing up towards the ceiling next to your thighs. Upper body softens down towards the floor, chin rests towards the chest. As you inhale, sit tall. Cross at the ankles, hands rest on the thighs. Neck rolls, allow the head to fall from one side of the room to the other. This can be a really slow movement, and it might even feel good to rock back and forth on any areas that feel extra tense or tight. Continue this or walk the fingertips out in front of you, finding a release in the low back, maybe even finding a little bit of a hip opener. Walk the hands all the way back, finding a big neck stretch. Left ear comes to the left shoulder. Left fingertips find the temple of the right side. Right fingertips extend down towards the floor. Continue to find length in the spine. We'll find that on the other side. Right ear to right shoulder. Left fingertips extend down to the floor. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. Scoot the hips forward, bend the knees, roll all the way down onto the back, really, really slowly. Knees are bent, soles of feet are on the floor. Heels walk close enough to the fingertips that they might be able to tickle the heels. Press into the floor, lift the hips any amount, bridge pose. Slowly soften hips back down to the floor. And as you inhale, press into the hands, press into the feet, lift hips up towards the ceiling one more time. Stay exactly where you are, or you can begin to shimmy the shoulders underneath you, maybe even interlacing the fingers underneath the low back. Press pinkies, heels, big toes all the way into the mat. As you exhale, slowly soften the hips back down to the floor. Palms come out to the sides, knees windshield wiper back and forth, releasing any remaining tension in the low back. Crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, sole of the left foot is still on the earth. Figure 4 pose, supine. You can interlace the fingers behind the left knee or in front of the left shin. Shoulders soften back down onto the floor and both ankles flex, protecting the knee joints. Right knee is being sent forward, and then both legs are hugging just a little bit closer to the body from the connection between your hands and your shin. Find a full body stretch and shake out the legs. And then bend the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the floor, and then cross left ankle over right thigh. Same options here. You can find that interlace between the hands and the right leg, or perhaps it feels like an awesome stretch just keeping the sole of the right foot onto the floor and sending your left knee forward. Feel free to close your eyes and just breathe into any tension or tightness that you may be noticing in your hips. Soles of the feet come back onto the floor. Allow the legs to windshield wiper from side to side. Happy baby. Reach for the insides or outsides of the feet. Tailbone reaches down towards the floor. Shoulders rest onto the floor. Option to rock from side to side or find stillness here. Knees are to the outsides of the ribs. Let this feel really good in your body. From here, we'll find bound angle pose, supine. Soles of feet come together, knees fall apart. Bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. You have the option of staying here for the remainder of class, feeling your breath as it moves in and out of the body. Or you have the option of finding legs up the wall. So if you have a wall nearby, this is a fantastic way to end class. Scoot the hips as close to the wall as you can get them. And then allow the almost entire leg to rest against the wall. Heels, calves, thighs. Feet flex, toes might even spread apart. Bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. You might notice some tingling sensations in legs up the wall. This posture can help with swelling in the ankles, the feet, or the legs. So whichever ending you chose for your yoga practice today, allow yourself to remain present for the next minute or so, just feeling your breath as it moves in and out of the body, allowing gravity to take over. Allow yourself to soften and relax. And know that you have everything that you need right here, right now, on your yoga mat. If you notice thoughts coming up, that's okay. See if you can just come back to breath, acknowledging those thoughts, and just bringing yourself back to the present moment. Continue to breathe softly here. You may stay here as long as you would like. If you are ready to move on with your day, allow yourself to roll onto the right or left side, finding fetal position, giving yourself a moment of gratitude for all you've accomplished today. Head rest onto the bicep. Option to stay here or roll yourself into a comfortable seated position so we can find a few breaths to end our class together. Empty the lungs completely. Take a deep breath in, open mouth sigh. Full breath in and release. Inhale breath and exhale. Hands come to heart center, slight tuck of the chin. Namaste. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me. Have a wonderful evening.